is from Sinisipo Schreiber to the panelist, panelist singular. Sorry to interrupt you, Judy. What are we doing wrong as young journalists? Secondly, how do we balance pressure and the responsibility to read and educate ourselves as general reporters? So if anyone wants to answer that. Sorry for the interruption. Came in a little late as you started speaking.
No, I think that's a very important issue, because I just wanted to make one more statement in that it's never been more important to have good, accurate and fair reporting, and it's never been more under threat. So with that, let's go to the panel for answers.
Anyone?
I try first, Stan.
Thank you, Angie.
Just a quick one. Sinesipo, I don't think that you're doing anything wrong as young journalists. All of us were young journalists. We went through the ropes. We worked really hard. We're still trying to work hard. We are on point on certain moments and days, and then we lose it. But we're all here, and it's spaces like this where, I mean, Adriaan and Nwabisa and I didn't chat about what we're going to talk about today. We got a brief, and I think we segued quite nicely into each other. But we all have the fundamentals. We've learned that. We practice the craft at every opportunity, even if we move from journalists to editors. So keep on doing your best, work at it. Number one, how do you balance the pressure and responsibility? The pressure and responsibility never goes away. I'm probably the worst person to ask that, because I live work more than I live life and all the other things. But find those moments that are just going to make you a full rounded human being and the best possible journalist that you can be.
Nwabisa?
Absolutely, I agree with Angie. I think for me, just to simplify it, I wouldn't even say what we're doing wrong. I just think that we probably need to ask more of a question or two questions: why and how do you know? I think that we get, fed a lot of information, and I think in the excitement of trying to, get a story and get a story out, perhaps the lapses that do happen really have to do with the fact that we may not ask why, this is so, and how do you know this is so. And the thing about it for me is really to be able to, as we've said the whole day, is really to be able to fact check things that regardless of where they come from. The fact that, this source who told me this is somebody that I trust may not necessarily be enough to say, okay, let's go with it. It needs to be verifiable. And that's the thing about journalism. It's just, we always talk about how it's the art of verification. So why and how do we know?
Thank you very much, Adriaan.
Just to briefly add to that, to what Nwabisa just said, I think specifically when it comes to political parties, you don't have to rely on political parties to tell you what's going on in elections, specifically with election results. You can go check for yourself. So if a political party tells you they're in front or they're going to win or, whatever, go and check it. The data is there for yourself. And that kind of fits into the second part of your question. How do you educate yourself? Read. Go and read books about election coverage. Go and read the IC website, and go and speak to the wonderful people at the IC and in the media fraternity who's covered many elections. I mean, that's literally the only way.
Thank you very much, everybody. Over to Judy. As you can see, there's a wealth of information and the wonderful portal that SANEF has compiled and put together. There's no shortage of resources, no shortage of references, of archives, of what has gone before. So thank you very much, everybody, and well done, SANEF, for putting together these training tutorials. They're most welcome in trying to make sense of covering the elections. Over to you again, Judy, and thank you, everybody.
A special thank you to our panelists. That's Angie, Adriaan, and Nwabisa, and also to you, Amina. A special thank you for chairing it so ably, as well as to Isak and Mary for putting this together and driving the project. And not to forget our SANEF office, our ED, Reggie, and Hopewell and Zudzi, who've all worked so hard, and the people who've hosted this for us. Just on a more personal note, in terms of being a young journalist, I think, as you know, it's a very exhausting career. It never stops, especially with news being going across all platforms and something you always have to keep feeding. I would just suggest try to have a hobby that you can enjoy that can help you recharge your batteries to try and enable some balance in your life occasionally. It's a constant challenge, but for example, running or climbing mountains. I found climbing a mountain in the Drakensberg helped me a lot in grounding myself when I got very frustrated with or exhausted from reporting challenges. So all I would say to all of you, take care and stay safe. We need you more than ever. We need your talent, your skills, your dedication to tell the stories of South African people for South Africa and help hold all the major players to account. So thanks again, everybody who's contributed to this seminar. Keep an eye on the SANEF website for more workshops coming up, and that will help empower you. Share the word with your friends. Everyone is welcome.